Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hand Spinner Review Spot YouTube channel. You can click the link in the description to go to our Facebook page, and if you're so inclined, please give us a like and a subscription here and there, and hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any of our videos if you like what we're doing. Okay, so what we're looking at today is something a bit different. These are bearing cores. Now these are from BusyMinds, which is the offshoot company of ZeroFeud, and this is the offshoot spinner that Rick Wayne at ZeroFeud, under this guise of BusyMinds, offers. These are their bearing cores. They're quite cost effective in general for bearing cores. There's some expensive ones on the market. These obviously are produced in China as a budget thing, and so they are quite cost effective. Now, these are the two versions that are available. I've put one inside the body of this guy here. This is a Vorso flat top in copper. There is a full review of this spinner on the channel, and I thought it was quite a good one to use because I don't love the Vorso flat top, particularly in its original form with its 608 bearing and its buttons that don't quite conceal that bearing, and I just don't love it. I find it noisy, I find it slightly uncomfortable, the spin time's not very good. There's lots of things that I don't love about the Vorso flat top and that I think could do with an update, but putting cores in them has been quite a consistent thing now for some time, but I just haven't happened to have a core. So these arrived, and that's one of the things I did. I thought, could this redeem what is a design which I don't love? I absolutely respect its place in the spinner history, you know, the short spinner history, but in general I think it's in need of a few changes. But with the core, would I be won over? So, what about the core itself? Well, as you can see, you have stainless steel and brass, as I think I probably mentioned. You have these quite small buttons, which are perfectly comfortable, I have to say, unless you've got huge fingers. I think these would be quite nice for most people. They're a simple design, but they really work. Flat portion, a little chamfer down, and then a flat in the centre. If we unscrew these, you see the BusyMinds logo, or at least you might do if I get it in the camera. There we go, you can see the BusyMinds logo there, just put on. You can see that's slightly offline there, which is a little bit annoying for people with OCD, but nevertheless it is there. On this side you can see there's actually a stainless steel retention ring here. This is a typical, you know, Chinese bearing cage like we've seen lots of times, and you can easily just remove that. There's your bearing inside. This is a 608. This is I've just reviewed a 608 spinner, that's why. This is an R188 10 ball, which is what is spec'd in all of the ZeroFeud brands and offshoots. He likes 10 ball R188s. I'm not sure if this one is a hybrid or not. I can't completely tell, but regardless, it's very good bearing. I have a hunch it probably is a hybrid, but if I'm wrong, I won't be shocked either way. So if we put that back on, you can just screw these down with your finger. There's no reason to go any more than finger tight, to be absolutely honest, but if you want to, you can use a penny. And then they just screw back together. Now all you do is take your 608 bearing out and replace it with one of these cores. It's very straightforward on something with a retention method that's screw-like, and certainly if you keep them relatively loose like I do, it's very easy to do. If you've got something maybe like this pentaspin here, you can use a variety of methods, and there will be an interesting video up on the channel soon for these guys, which are bearing removal tools, so you can keep that in mind. But with the sort of things like the Axis Micro or the Vorso flat top, which are probably the most ubiquitous, you know, examples of this sort of spinner that are around, you just simply push out the existing bearing or unscrew the existing bearing and put one of the cores in its place, and you have an instant conversion from a 608 to an R188. What does that do for you? Well, in this instance, it takes a sub 2 minute spinner up to a 7 minute spinner. And it takes a noisy, pretty unbalanced, you know, wobbly, it wasn't horribly wobbly, but a little bit wobbly spinner to a virtually dead smooth spinner. And a quiet one at that, because there's lots of material around that bearing because of the cage. It just works beautifully. I have to say, there's still the ergonomic issues left, obviously, but since I put this core into this little Vorso flat top, I have carried this probably, I mean, obviously I have a silly spinner collection, but I've carried it multiple days. It's it's really enjoyable. It's small, it's flickable. If you have a Vorso flat top, you should get one of these from whatever company, but the BusyMinds ones are what I have here now, and they seem quite cost effective, and they're the only ones that I have in hand, so I'm gonna say more than happily, yeah, consider those. They're great. There is one, it's a nitpick, but it is one downside that really gets on my nerves, which is that the BusyMinds logo, oops, sorry, let me get it in camera, because it's just offline, you can see it sticks out past the button on one side. Now I'm sure you could just brush that off or whatever, but it kind of gets on my nerves because it just takes away a little bit. Now you can do things like swapping the buttons over on these. Now you can't use any old R188 button because effectively, as you'll see, the actual bearing itself is sat down. It's a bit like the issue you have with the retention system on something like the Trillium, where only certain buttons will work. But buttons for something like this guy over here, the Turnian, because this also effectively is running a core, and NTO do their own core, although this one's machined in America. You can see, if you put that button on, not only does it work, but it covers the whole thing and gets rid of my only little gripe, to be honest with you. And I must say, yes, these are very expensive Mokume buttons, but they look really beautiful on this. Don't worry, I won't be doing anything stupid like buying a second set, but even so, another set of double stack buttons just in a plain finish would definitely be a really, really nice look on something like this. So yeah, there isn't a great deal more to say. That is the BusyMinds converter core, and yeah, I mean, if you want a converter core and you're in the market for one, there's a number of options out there. These are the ones I have in hand. There's very, very little wrong with them. Head over to the ZeroFeud website and take a look. Thanks very much, guys. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.